Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ben. This is Ben Talks Balls, and today I will of course be discussing Manchester United's most recent game against AFC Bournemouth. Let's get started. So before I do talk about Manchester United's overall game and the 5 goals that they did score, I will be talking about, rather negatively, the 2 goals they conceded. The first goal was poor, and it absolutely epitomized Manchester United post-Fergie in the defensive area at least. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's positioning and man marking is rather poor. He needs to do a lot better. He should not have sprawled onto the ground and tried to block the shot when the ball did come in. And I felt that he wasn't high enough on his man, which allowed Junior Stanislas to easily play the ball in, which was blocked by Maguire, bounced back to Stanislas, easily past Wan-Bissaka because he's down on the ground, and he had the chance to isolate Harry Maguire. Let's talk about Harry Maguire. I think if you're keeping a man in that area, you need to show him away from goal side, and you need to make the space as tight as possible. Harry Maguire absolutely failed in doing so. He let his legs wide open for Stanislas to pass easily, and if you pay £80 million for a defender, you gotta expect that he can defend something simple like that. Poor overall for Maguire. He needs to improve in that area, in that aspect. He's made a couple mistakes post restart, and of course David De Gea leaving so much space at his near post. You expect him to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and that's a very simple thing. I get that he's caught off guard by the fact that Maguire was passed so easily, but he needs to be ready for anything. He's one of the best paid goalkeepers in the world. He's one of the supposedly best goalkeepers in the world. He needs to do a lot better in that aspect, and it's a very sloppy goal to concede. I think Solskjaer will be absolutely seething watching that goal being conceded. Now on the second goal, okay, do I think it's a penalty? No, that was 100% not a penalty. It hit Eric by his shoulder. No way is a shoulder considered a handball. However, it is important to note how Manchester United were so poor in build-up, particularly Eric Bailly playing the ball into Nemanja Matic. Why do I say this is a poor decision from Bailly? Well, I'm saying this because Matic is clearly surrounded by 3 players. The second the ball gets played to him, he's crowded out. He's being pressed to all hell by those 3 Bournemouth attackers, and he has to pass it back to Bailly rather carelessly, which of course led to the handball, which was not a handball, and the penalty being given. I think in build-up, it's clear that United have a pattern, and one of that is of course using Nemanja Matic to spray the ball out in transition play. However, you expect Bailly to be a lot more intuitive when playing on the ball and passing out at the back to know where the positions of the opposition players are to better spread play and bring the ball out better. Overall, I think Eric Bailly is a good defender. I love him. I hope he succeeds at United, but he needs to cut out these little bit of impulsive decisions that he tends to do. And if he has a clear head, he's definitely one of the best defenders in the league. I'm being serious. Just watch his first season. He was fantastic, phenomenal defender. Just needs to get a good run of games under his belt and build up his concentration overall, because I think that showed how much he lacks match sharpness. Now enough of the negative. Let's get into the positives. And what a positive response it was for Manchester United going 1-0 down. Mason Greenwood is a phenomenal player. Let's talk about that goal. Marcus Rashford picks up the ball on the right hand side and plays it to Bruno Fernandes. The Bournemouth players have been sucked out because Rashford and Fernandes combine on their left hand side of the fence, leaving Mason Greenwood to make the run into the box. He takes the ball brilliantly, cushions the ball phenomenally with his first touch, and just lets fly with his left foot. Absolutely phenomenal power on that. Aaron Ramsdale had absolutely no chance because that ball could have taken his head off. Mason Greenwood again, what a phenomenal player, and the mentality shown by Greenwood. Instead of going to celebrate after leveling the score, he goes and turns around and runs straight to the halfway line, showing he wants the team to win. He knows we're in the battle for Europe and we can't take a draw. And that is exactly what you want to see from a player that can go straight to the top. Enough about that. Let's talk about the second goal. Penalty this time, was it a handball? Yes, certainly it was a handball. Ball being played by Bruno Fernandes. Corner routine. Luke Shaw eventually picks the ball up on the left hand side and tries to play the ball in. It's of course a little bit of a goalmouth scramble, and the ball passes Adam Smith's arm, and it is obviously a penalty. What's important to note in this goal, Marcus Rashford scoring his first goal post restart, brilliantly putting it past Aaron Ramsdale from the penalty area, and I'm really happy. It's his 20th goal of the season, and it's important that he scores goals. I've always thought that if Marcus Rashford gets one goal, he can really keep up a good run of form. And I hope this can really kickstart the rest of his post-restart form and really kick on to score more and more goals for Manchester United, leading the line alongside Martial and of course Mason Greenwood. I'm really happy for him. He's a great character. He's a fantastic player, and I really hope he continues. Now on to the third goal. I'm going to characterize that goal by just one word. Wow. Anthony Martial. That was a brilliant strike. Bruno Fernandes playing it into his path brilliantly on first time into Martial's way, cutting inside, and just releasing an absolutely phenomenal hit right into the top corner. There's nothing Aaron Ramsdale could have done about that. We tormented him this game. He made some good saves, but you just can't contend when that goes flying past you like that. Anthony Martial, that's a trademark for him in recent years. We know how good he is when he gets the opportunity to let off a shot, and that just shows how good Anthony Martial is. That's his 20th goal of the season. Him and Rashford both have 20 goals in all competitions for Manchester United. I believe that is the first time since 2011 that United have a forward pairing with that many goals, and I'm really, really happy. Martial again, being in a rich vein of form, being in the form of his life in fact. He scored 8 goals in 2020. I believe that's more than any Premier League player, and he's going to be so happy to add more to his tally and hopefully bring more goals in the remaining fixtures, of course. So United go into the first half 3-1 up after coming back from one goal and showing why exactly they're one of the best attacking teams in the Premier League at the moment. They are the form team, I believe, and they are really pushing it. Now into the second half. Mason Greenwood. The Bournemouth defender tried to push him onto his supposed weaker foot, but here's the thing. Mason Greenwood does not have a weaker foot. Obviously, he was pushed onto his right foot by the Bournemouth defender, who just composed himself, angled the shot, and released another brilliant attempt at goal, lashing straight past Aaron Ramsdale into the top corner. Mason Greenwood showing again why he is a generational talent, one of the best youngsters in the world, not just the Premier League, and his 15th goal of the season, and he's on course to match or even surpass Wayne Rooney's record as a teenager for Manchester United. I'm absolutely in love with this kid at the moment. That sounds wrong. But indeed, Mason Greenwood is a phenomenal talent. He can go straight to the top. I've said it time and time again. I have no words to describe how good he is at the moment because he's that good, and I'm really confident in his ability and his natural goal scoring technique to bring him more and more goals across the season. And the third goal, the cherry on top of the cake, Bruno Fernandes releasing a brilliant free kick on the edge of the area, straight past Aaron Ramsdale into the back of the net. There's nothing he could have done about it because it's the pure power and placement of that shot. A lot of pace on it. Ramsdale, unsighted, couldn't dive down fast enough, and he scored yet another goal. Bruno Fernandes got 2 assists and a goal this game. He's continuing again what he's done since we signed him in January. What a signing it is. 40 million over, what a bargain. Bruno Fernandes showing his class, and I think it's important to note the performances from Paul Pogba, just calmly dictating play. He was, again, a quiet but a very efficient and indeed domineering presence within Manchester United's lineup. I think as well, when Fred did come on for Nemanja Matic in the second half, he played really well. I think that's important to know. I'm happy to see Fred get some minutes under his belt because this season he's been one of our best performers. And certainly when we struggled in the early half of the season, we needed Fred to be up. And he really, really showed his class in those early stages of the season. But of course, overall, Manchester United performed brilliantly once more, challenging to come up against a Bournemouth team that are struggling and will attack you when they can. And they did come back from that one goal and showed that they're not the Manchester United of old post-Fergie, showing that they do have the mettle to come back and score goals, and score many goals. I'm really pleased with how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is building this team in an attacking context, and seeing this team build as a young, vibrant team going forward. We really are challenging, and hearing that the CAS ruling of Manchester City's UEFA Champions League ban probably going to be ruling them out of the competition next year and the years to come. This fifth place spot is enough to secure us Champions League football. And I'm hopeful that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can continue the good form Manchester United have shown in the previous games, continue building United on the up, and hopefully with some additions in the not the summer, in the transfer window in the future, United can really challenge any team they come up against the following season, whenever that is, obviously. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that nonsense. I will see you next time.